Hi everyone. Today we will talk about orbit controls. So this is the Three.js documentation and here we are using this. So I have one very basic example and this is one simple cube. We can use left click to rotate and then right click to pan and zoom in. My scroll is quite smooth, but we can scroll in and scroll out to zoom in and zoom out. Let's see our code. So we have this code. For explanation, I have just used this index.html file and renamed it. And I just added CDN link for Three.js without adding using npm. This is the basic styling and some color of the I mean the body and some instruction, the color of the text. We have the script. We are importing three and importing orbit control as add-ons. So next thing in Three.js we have to add a scene, and in scene we have to add camera, and then we are just adding our renderer and setting the size of our renderer. Then we have our geometry, box geometry, then material, mesh standard material, and the color we have defined here. Then we have the cube, which is mesh, which is geometry and material. And then we are adding our cube in our scene here, the scene. So next thing we are adding light and it is directional light, and we are adding the position, then we are adding the light in our scene and also adding the ambient light. So we have one directional light and another we have ambient light. Now the orbit controls. So here we mention the camera and then we mention the target. Here control enable damping. So if we go to the documentation, we have this damping option. So it smoothens the process, it does not allow to jitter. So if I search for enable damping, enable damping here. So here we have damping factor, the damping inertia used if enable damping is set to true. Note that for this to work, you must call update. So after we add the enable damping, we must update it. And damping factor is number and enable damping is boolean. So we are just adding, mm, you know, enable damping only, I guess. Also, we are adding damping factor. Then we are animating, request animation frame, then controls dot update, renderer dot render, scene, camera. Here, this is add event listener for resize, and we are changing the camera dot aspect. And this is we are using to update the size of our screen, uh, sorry, camera. So based on the size, the camera also updates, and then we are setting the size and the code ends. So this is it we are doing, and this is the basic example of orbit control. We have lot of things. So the orbit control helps us to orbit, rotate, or touch left mouse, or we can use. Then we have zoom to middle mouse wheel to you zoom in and zoom out. Then we have pan, and we click right mouse, and we are able to pan around the cube. Here is a basic example of orbit control. Um, and then we have to we have to also this control dot update, and in animate we have to add this. Um, so we will discuss about it in future. Thank you.